Sometimes there's a little bit of struggle getting momentum in life. The old ground is icy and slippery. I'm sitting here today on the Mrgrrr at my park. It's freezing cold outside. There's actually a little bit of snow on the ground for a change, which is nice to see. So I'm going to point my camera. There's my rock. I'll probably go sit on that rock in a little bit after I get my thoughts going. Kind of like this merry-go-round. Sometimes it takes a little bit of work to get the process going. I got no traction. I got my new shoes on, trying to push this merry-go-round around on the ice right here. This is where I get my good grip and my good push, and then it's all slippery downhill from there. So I've got a lot on my mind today. The first day of 2024. I already made a video today of myself drinking Dr. Pepper. That seems pretty small in comparison to the stuff I need to think and talk about, but you got to start somewhere. I have a letter in my pocket from my wife. She left it on my pillow downstairs for me, and I read it, and was tempted to pull that out and put it on the camera, kind of like I did with the little greeting card I got from the good people at the switchboard at work the other day. But I'm not going to do that. The letter's in my heart. It's in my mind. I'm thinking about my wife a lot, to say the least. We both have our struggles, and sometimes it's hard to get footing right, to get a good push, to get momentum. So the fact that I'm struggling here on this merry-go-round is beautiful, because anything worth doing is a struggle. Not every moment between Mr. and Mrs. Grrr is sunshine and rainbows, and that's for the better. But it wasn't too long ago. It was like 56 degrees out here. It was Christmas Day or Christmas Eve, and my son and I were playing laser tag here in this park, and there was an elderly gentleman that I talked to, and he was talking about what this park used to be like a long time ago, and I was like, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. There used to be a merry-go-round over there, and that is where I married my wife. He's like, no way. I'm like, yeah. So if there's anybody in the world that appreciates merry-go-rounds, it's me, because I married my girl in my dreams on a merry-go-round right here in this here park in Neenah, Wisconsin. Marriage takes a lot of work. Takes a lot of teamwork. You know, I bet if my wife was here with me on this merry-go-round, it would be easier to keep it going, because when I'm in the part where I'm slipping, she might be here where there's traction, so she could push hard while I'm over here screwing up, slipping, and going nowhere. So the fact that the merry-go-round is in this particular state today, and I am struggling to keep it going, is beautiful. It is beautiful. But I will never, ever stop pushing, and my wife knows that. She knows that I'm as stubborn as the day is long, and we have an understanding. Like, my wife is the martyr. She likes to be up on that cross for the world to see. You know, look at me. Look at me suffering. It's who she is. I love her for it. You know, I thought I could change that about her. Thought I could save her with the awesomeness that I am. Nah. She's awesome the way she is. She is who she is. I wouldn't change her. But she knows as well as I do, I'm not the martyr. I'm the masochist. I don't climb up on the cross. I bury myself deep underground in a hell of my own making. And I sit there and I burn. And I love it. I love it. Like I went for a walk yesterday. No nice, comfortable fleece sweatshirt. The only thing I had to protect me against the element was this stupid Captain America hat. So I was walking around outside in the freezing cold. Love it, you know. But the thing is, I have given up a lot of that since I've been married. I don't do 1/50th the stupid things that I used to do before I had a wife and a family because they need me. So if I freeze to death swimming across Lake Winnebago, you know, there's a fine line between bravery and stupidity, and I got to make sure that I keep the stupidity to a minimum now that I got people that depend on me. So I'm gonna go for a walk with my wife today with the dog. I don't know if Gabe or Garrison will be along, and everything I have to say I could say in front of them. But the thing is, history repeats itself. It's just something that happens, you know. My wife's origin story involves, you know, watching the horrible demise of her parents before her eyes as a young child. You know, they didn't take care of themselves. They let the world crush them. And she saw that live and in Technicolor, and it's forever ingrained in her forever. My wife and I are having a little disagreement because I'm not going to let her do that to her kids. You know, as much as she might want to be up on that cross, she is not going to pass that along to my sons, Garrison and Gabriel. I'm not going to let it happen, not on my watch. Just like she won't let me, you know, burn myself to death in whatever personal hell I'm putting myself through. She ain't going to let me do it. That's kind of the arrangement that we have, being the martyr and the masochist. So I love my wife, and she is not going to pass that pain on to Garrison. And she knows this because I got her back. So, all right. This is the hardest merry-go-round trip I ever had. But it was worth the adventure. Now that I got that out of the way, I need to go think about the next step of the journey. And that's I need to go sit on my rock and do a little thinking.